Howdy ho, neighborinos! Welcome to the Neighbor Ladies. It's episode 9. We're here with Karen J, Suzanne, and me, Colleen. Boston is on vacation, but we also have Handyman Grant. So, getting ready for lots of things. The beginning of the school year, the state fair, the end of summer. But Karen J,
yes,
you wanted to talk about something.
All right. I just want to preface this by saying I may be ignorant about certain topics, but at least I'm willing to go there. So let's talk about Black Lives Matter and the state fair protests.
Okay.
There's been a lot of controversy around this.
Yeah.
Now, the group plans to march from Hamlin Park north on Snelling Avenue to the fairgrounds at 11 o'clock. As of Monday, there were 600 people saying they were going to participate. I might participate. I haven't decided. To find a Kevlar vest first.
I don't. I hope not. I hope it's not going to be like that. That's my biggest fear about the whole protest.
That someone will get hurt.
Yeah, because, okay, and this is going to sound, you know what? This is going to sound prejudiced against people who live in our smaller towns or our smaller communities. And this is going to, I don't care. There's going to be a large Jethro factor, I think, on Saturday at the fair.
Yeah.
And people who, might be less tolerant and less they
like the pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm worried about
well, let's just be honest.
People starting with
small minds.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when it could be an effective protest.
Right.
So they have no plans to enter the fairgrounds. They just intend to disrupt traffic and inconvenience fairgoers.
So it's starting at Hamlin and what?
Hamlin Park, and then going up Snelling to the fairgrounds.
Okay. How many people are they?
I mean, I'm sure it's
guesstimating?
grown by. It was at 600 people on Monday. I'm sure it's going to be over 1,000.
Okay.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Unless something bad happens.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
As an outside person
Hello, Handyman Grant.
This is Grant. I'm just going to be the devil's advocate here for you.
Okay.
I'm a person who works at the fair, and I need to get to that fair to go to work that day.
Right.
Where are you going to be so I know not to have to deal with that? Because I'm going to try to find parking. I don't want to be late for my job. These are things that I understand you're doing, but there are other people there that are not. They're there to make a living.
Right.
And so fairgoers are one thing, but there are other people there that are trying to make a living.
Well, first of all, they're going to start around 11, so you'll probably already be at the fair.
Yeah. So I'm just playing devil's
But there's
advocate here.
no,
and I don't mean to put you on the
and
spot.
quite honestly, I don't know if I'll be there. I mean, I like to sleep in on Saturday, so I don't know. But I do support Black Lives Matter.
And I'm all about that too. But don't you feel like there's a better way than disrupting a huge piece of commerce of this?
That's
town?
that's the whole point of a protest. It's not meant to be convenient.
But can't you protest I don't know. I feel like there's public events that aren't so based on a lot of people's livelihoods. Like some of these fair people that's all they do. A lot of these people that go to the state fair, or not go, but work at the state fair. That's their family. My roommate, for instance, is one of them. He owns the Cafe Caribe there.
Sure.
And that's their family business. That's what he does. 12 days a year to make money. Isn't there a way where we can get this great message out that I'm not saying I'm against and I'm totally for it, but find a better venue? Or
I think what's upsetting for people is because it's here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't expect to see protests of this magnitude here. And especially not it's the happiest place on earth. It's the state fair, right? Everybody has a good feeling about the state fair.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody feels like, I have every single wonderful memory there.
Right.
And now there's going to be some
an impact.
some conflict.
Yeah.
An impact.
There's going to be conflict there. There's
Yeah.
people are going to be because it's stopping you.
You can't put white people and make the inconvenience them from getting to their cheese curds.
Well,
They'll
right.
go ape
Exactly.
shit. They will.
But so
That's true.
But okay, so it's there. Just think about this. Okay, being devil's advocate. I'm going to be the devil's advocate for the devil's advocate
Cool.
or
Yeah.
something like that. It's one day. Protests are meant to be disruptive because it's meant to make people stop doing what they're doing and think.
Yep.
And it's meant to be incredibly visible. And what more visibility can you get than on the first Saturday of an event that people look forward to every year? And so this is their business. It's one day out of their business for the whole year. And if this is the only thing that they do, then it's one day out of the year. No matter where they hold the protest, people's lives will be disrupted.
Absolutely.
So I think they've picked an effective location. They've picked an effective day.
Mm-hmm.
My only fear is violence.
Yep.
And I'm honestly, I don't think the protesters are going to be starting violence. I'm only, like I said, I'm only worried about
Jethro.
Yeah,
I'm worried about the Jethro
if you tuned
factor.
up fairgoers, you get some kids there that are close to that 21 age, and they're just there to bark a few. It's
That's what I'm scared.
I am too. You're gonna have some people there that are gonna try to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing to you guys, and I'm worried
as
that you guys are gonna be
protesters.
safe.
I mean, they know that what the
Risk
they,
is?
They know the
They're
risks.
taking the risk.
And I think the whole point is like they want to get people pissed off.
Yeah.
They want you to think about lives other than their own. Mm-hmm.
That's a great point. And that's definitely at the state fair. I mean, and the first Saturday usually always sets a record for attendance. So you're going to get,
Right.
like you said, the impact, the exposure, the visual that you need to get out there will be achieved 100%.
Right.
So I think that is a great approach.
I don't even know if it's pissed off. I think they're just trying to get the visibility.
Yeah.
They
there's
want
so
people
much-
to get angry.
I think-
They're trying to make people angry because they want you to be angry and then they want you to think about it. Like how does race play a role in our social structure?
Absolutely.
Can you maybe you could think about that while you're on your way to get fried food on a stick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I agree with all of their tactics.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you
No,
on the
I mean
spot.
I'm not the
just think this-
spokesperson for Black
Yeah.
Lives Matter. I'm not even black.
You are in the show right now. 'Cause
Well, you're more black than me right now.
well,
I mean, I will.
I try.
I'll say this: as a minority, I stand behind them because
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
As a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white chick, I stand behind them too. I think it's going to be an incredible day.
Moving experience.
But I'm worried about it. I can't help, and I'm sure the people that are protesting are going to be worried about it too. If
Yeah.
I tell you, if I was the mother of a young black man, I wouldn't want them to go. I
Right.
could see why they would want to go, and I would be of two minds of it because I would be. But then again, if I was the mother of a young black man, I would be afraid to have them go out on a Friday night and walk home by themselves. I got to tell you a story, okay? So, Mitch and Leah, they're my neighbors from a long time ago, and they're black, and Leah's a school principal. Mitch works at the Ford plant, and their son David. We all sort of had dinner together. We went shopping together. Leah was my workout buddy, and then when she couldn't work out with me, Mitch was my workout buddy. I mean, we were just through the alleyway. We were always connected. We were always doing something. Mitch and I coordinated the neighborhood kickball games for the kids, right? And my kids hung out with David. And David, I think, was not their first black friend because I've always lived in... Well, no, I lived in Frogtown. I lived on the east side
Right.
of St. Paul.
Right.
I've always lived. My people are Irish, German. We're servant class.
Yeah.
The first person that went to college in my lineage was in the 50s, the 1950s. It was my Uncle Jim. The rest of us have all been laborers.
Right.
So, I
Same
do
with
not,
my family.
I do not, although I'm going to get to my white privilege that I'm fully aware of, or not even fully. I'd say I'm about 65% of the way there, because I don't think you can ever be 100% aware of your white privilege. But it was a teaching moment for me because the kids were getting older, and David turned 13 and he had a girlfriend, right?
Right.
And so Mitch, who's like a big guy, big, strong guy, and he said, I had to have the talk with David. And I said, oh, the talk, right? Oh,
Yeah.
the talk, I'm not looking forward to that with Isaac, my son, and I had a different talk with Amanda. And he said, no, I had to have the talk with him about, David's he's going to inherit my size.
and he's going to inherit my. I mean, he said, I'm a big black man,
Yeah.
and people are automatically intimidated by me when
Right.
I walk into a room, and they're automatically afraid of me, no matter how intelligent I am and no matter how eloquent I am. They're automatically on edge when I walk into the room. And he said, and David is going to inherit those qualities. And I'm thinking, and that just blew my mind, right? And because I'm thinking of little sweet David. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of people being afraid of him.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
just because he walked into a room.
Right.
So, anyway, that's just, I don't even know. Again, that's like one of those things. I try to put every experience through that sieve, you know, through that story, and I try to think, okay, this is somebody's kid, this is somebody's sweet little boy, and you know, I have to temper every experience through that story,
Right.
somehow,
Yeah, we have to make it personal somehow so we can relate to it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, I've said ignorant things before. When the Black Lives Matter movement came out on social media, I was one of the first ones to put all lives matter.
Right.
And then that bit me in the ass. Because they're like, of course all lives matter. But this isn't about all lives. This is about black lives and brown lives. And I'm like, why not yellow lives? We matter too.
Right.
You know, and then
Right.
today I saw, scrolling down, this white lives matter meme. And I'm just like, really, guys? Like, is that necessary? we know white lives matter. We live in America. Come on. So, I don't know. We're all a little bit ignorant, right?
Right.
And I don't know. I guess, and I feel bad even making criticisms because I feel like it's not my place to say.
What are you criticizing?
I guess I feel like I don't know. Like maybe they should go a step further besides just protesting and making people, inconveniencing people. Maybe go a step further and maybe try to lobby for like things that they want to see changed or have have a message.
I think that happens. Don't you feel like lobbying happens all the time?
Not for the movement, though. I mean, so far, all they've done is really disrupt events.
Maybe that's just
I
how
think
it gets
it's really
started.
hard to get all that stuff organized.
Well, sure, it's not easy.
Right.
That's why not everybody does it.
Right.
But if this is an important issue, which it is, I think they need to. And they need to have some strong leadership. Not saying that their leadership's not strong, but I'm saying like they could really be effective, like even more effective than they are right now. I think
they will be. I don't
I
think
hope
this
they
is
will
going
be.
away anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that. I want to see them succeed and actually affect real change.
I think you'll get your wish. I think they will.
Good.
That said, I'm afraid of violence on Saturday. I'm afraid of people getting hurt. But I understand. This is going to happen.
I'm not going to the fair on Saturday.
I can't go. I have to work.
Me too.
I might go.
Will you
I'll go see Grant.
report back to us?
Of course.
Oh,
Ca-
Grant, you're going to be
Excellent.
out there. Yeah.
Cafe Carib. Come out and see me.
Okay,
Say
I
hi.
will. Can I
Okay.
get a hookup on some free food?
I would love to say that, but my roommate who owns the place is listening, so no.
He listens to the show.
On the
does.
Thanks,
okay,
guy.
Grant,
Yeah.
on the low. Just kidding.
Yeah, between me and you, wink, wink.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean,
Good
I
talk,
did give you
She
some
gave
fruit
you
from my
tomatoes.
garden.
I did. I got some fruit from her garden today. It was very splendid. Oh, that's not
All
even a
right.
word, is it?
You're
Blended?
listening to the Neighbor Ladies here
Splendid.
on the Alive and Social Network. When we return, we're going to talk about pain meds with Suzanne.
Yep.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, what unearned benefits have you received by nature of your identity?
It's a tough question. This isn't meant as an insult to really anyone in particular, but it's a simple observation that white privilege has meant that scores of second-rate white professors have slid through the system. And I don't consider myself a second-rate professor, but I am white.
Karen
I
J.
totally didn't understand that answer, but that's okay.
I think she was totally dissing the system. Well, okay. So first I thought, well, maybe I received benefits being a model minority, but that's a myth. I'll get into that later. But I guess The only privilege I get is that I'm less disadvantaged than blacks as an Asian woman.
As an Asian woman, don't you think that people think you're submissive?
That's not a benefit.
No, I know that's not a benefit, but I'm just saying that, like,
Oh, they do until I open my mouth. And
so
they're
it's
like,
like a sneak attack.
holy shit.
That's almost to your benefit. I think
It
it's to
is,
your
yeah.
benefit. I like that.
Colleen?
What unearned benefits have I received by nature of my identity? First of all, they are multitude. They are vast and infinite. They are so many that I probably don't even know.
Right.
I can't enumerate them. But I will say this. Every time I walk into a room, people assume the best of me. And that, they assume that they never assume that I am the culprit of anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Boy, are they wrong.
right. Well, no, but you know what I mean? Like, that's,
I know.
I'm not, so,
Never judge a book by its
so
cover.
that's
Never.
it. I am not.
Especially Colleen.
I am not the culprit of anything just because I am a nice Minnesota lady
Yes.
with Target clothing. I
Right.
mean, I'm like invisible. I'm fucking invisible. And
No,
you know that?
Asians are invisible. Especially when it comes to voting. We're not even on the board. We're in the other. Below Hispanics. Yeah, we're not even recognized. We're just in the other 0.3%.
You can't be other now.
No, we're not even recognized on the voting thing. When they say the by race.
They don't say Asian.
No, they say other.
You're my
Wow.
favorite other, Karen J.
Yeah.
That's like alien.
I'm your favorite other from another mother.
Yeah, my favorite other. Good talk, you guys. Woo! All right, welcome back. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Check us out every week. Just go to aliveandsocial.com or check us out on our Facebook page. Find us at the Neighbor Ladies. We're here with Suzanne, Karen J, and me, Colleen. Boston is on vacation. I know she's very sad.
She's in Boston.
She's in Boston. Is in Boston.
Yes.
Letting her son go.
Yes.
It's a very painful experience,
Yep.
but not the
Yes.
kind of painful experience that you might take pain meds for.
Well,
Nice segue.
Thank you.
Nice.
Suzanne wanted to talk about pain meds, and I said I'm all for it because I tell you, I had the best fucking week of my life on Percocet, and I was so sad when I realized it was going to end.
Yeah.
I burned the living shit out of my hand, steam burn. 3 of these fingers bubbled up, like my knuckles bubbled like bubble gum, like whoosh, and I went "Wah!" like that.
And then you probably laughed.
No, I didn't. I was screaming the whole way. My friend Davo drove me to the hospital. He was like, "What the fuck happened?" I was like, "Ah!" They gave me Percocet right in the waiting room because I wouldn't stop screaming. And then from that day on, I was on Percocet for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, not 2. Yeah, I lost that week. Oh my God. So let's talk about pain
Yeah,
meds. 'Cause
pain
I
meds.
love pain meds.
Pain meds. Mother's little helpers. Remember when they used to call them that?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're too young. Yeah.
Too young.
Well, I mean, did your moms take pain meds?
No, you know
No.
what? My mother did not, and she was given lots of pain meds because
Yeah?
she had very painful births. They used to give you pain meds for painful births.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, my
Dilaudid.
mom might have. She was an RN.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
might
yeah.
have taken
Yeah.
them a little, I don't know.
Especially living with
She
your
slept
dad.
a lot. She slept a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll happen.
Yeah.
That's,
Yes.
she probably did.
Oh, my mom
Probably
was
was a junkie.
really into them.
Secret junkie.
Really,
Secret
really
pill
into
junkie?
pain
Maybe.
meds.
She was fucked up. I know that.
So it just seems lately that there's so many people that are having issues with pain meds.
Oh, addicted? They're addicted to them?
Well, I don't even know if it's so much that they're addicted to them. They just like them.
I know a lot of
much.
comics take them recreationally.
It's
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you get them if you don't get burned on your hand?
well, have your tits cut off. You
No,
don't get 'em
well,
then.
I can't
It's-
get. I don't want to get. The,
Yeah,
I don't
know.
have to
Well,
get my tits cut off.
You know, I
That's kind of extreme.
I honestly
No.
can't take pain meds because I projectile vomit.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From pain meds.
From pain meds.
That is a sad story.
Yeah, it is a really sad story.
Can't
I'm
they
allergic
just
to
shoot it in
codeine.
your butt.
It's
Hey, did you know you can take pills up your butt?
really?
Yeah.
And then would
Damn
my
right
would
you
my
can.
butt throw up?
It might not.
Might not.
And not if you
So what?
squeeze
So
really
what?
hard.
It numbs your butt first.
Marlena Dietrich used to take
Oh, my
all
God.
pills. I'm reading this biography of Marlena Dietrich, and she would put pills into her rectum because she felt that they assimilated into your system fast enough. So then I asked my doctor, and
Yeah.
he said, "Yes,
Yeah, do it. Do it. Yeah.
that's what that because
Wow.
you have a whole second immune system, or your immune system is in
Wow.
your gut. So ask your doctor before you start taking pills up your butt.
But
Wait,
But it's true.
is it? What about your vagina? Can you do that?
I don't know.
There
know about your
is.
vagina.
Have you heard of the cases where people, young teenagers,
Tell us about butts.
not butts. I'm talking. You were saying vaginas.
Yeah.
Actually, there was like a story I read a
The
few
vodka
years ago
tampons.
about vodka tampons and girls using vodka tampons, getting drunk off of vodka tampons.
It works, huh?
That apparently I
I
don't
would be
know. I'm
afraid
really-
because it's like alcohol. I'd be afraid of burning my cervix.
yeah.
yeah.
Also, because I'm an
Right.
alcoholic, I wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
Good point.
But
right. Could you imagine the blackout? Oh, wow. No, the vagina blackout.
I need to do that on Friday.
put the tampon in
No.
there, and then you got to stick a lime up there.
Here's
Right.
what's scary. Here's what's scary.
A sugared rim. It's very
According
sad.
to the World Health Organization, depression ranks as the world's fourth most devastating illness, and by 2020, it's expected to be the second only to heart disease. And you know, I read things like this, and then I look at statistics, and it's statistically known that a lot more women are into this than men. It seems as though it's funny because men become addicted, but women learn how to do it, if there is such a thing, as responsible use. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that's what's so tricky about it, because stats will say that more men are addicted, and maybe that's the case. But other statistics will say more women take them. It's just that they're able to control, you know, when they take them, how many they take, and they save them for special occasions.
Yeah. Like I saved a Vicodin because I was going to get a Brazilian.
Yeah.
I was so glad I
that
did.
was smart.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I asked my doctor, I said, can you just give me a prescription for like 2 Vicodin? And he said, why? And I said, because I was going to get a Brazilian, and I figure like every 8 weeks or so, I could just take one. And he said, no, I can't give you a prescription for 2 Vicodin. You know, I was like, I mean, but every 16 weeks, I just get the prescription for 2. That's all I want. I'm
Right.
not saying I want, you know.
Right.
And he was just shaking his head.
Yeah.
No.
It's pain meds
Why
just
not?
aren't my thing. I was
Yeah, they're not my thing
I
either.
was into speed. I remember I just want to tell this one real quick story.
Yeah, do it.
So I was really White Crosses. Do you guys remember White
I
Crosses?
tried to take a White Cross.
Is that
and it
speed?
didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
You're too
I thought
young.
it was like Dexatron.
No, I remember it.
Is that like Adderall?
Maybe.
Well, it's
amphetamines,
It's not
right?
as clean as Adderall. So
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little bit jumpy. So I was really
Maybe
into
just
They
take
used
them
to
to
sell those
study.
at the U of M bookstore. We'd
Yeah.
take them before like
White
all night.
Crosses.
Yeah.
You know, and like
No dose.
take like 40 of them and then just kind of like buzz through the day.
Yeah.
Well, so I got
Grant's
this great
drinking a Mountain
idea.
Dew Kickstart. I think that's worse than anything you could possibly.
What is he doing?
Mountain Dew Kickstart?
Oh my God,
Yeah. They're-
Grant!
I just got into them. I tried to eliminate coffee. That didn't
Yeah,
help. And so I
uh-huh.
moved on to Kickstart. It's
You
Good.
should listen to your mother.
Wow.
Drink coffee instead.
Yes.
People have been drinking coffee for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
I'll go back to coffee.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
We
to
know
my-
what coffee
And
does
I mean,
to you.
do the hardcore thing. Just chew beans.
Do you know that they have chewing tobacco pouches, but of coffee beans? It's not tobacco. It's like a caffeine pouch.
Yeah.
My buddy used them to quit chewing. Actually,
That's
Wow.
interesting.
they taste like vanilla or different flavors. They're not bad.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mountain Dew shrinks your.
Oh Lord, I'm done.
It
Really?
does. That's medically proven.
Oh
Yeah.
no. I love you ladies. You just keep me like my new mom, all my moms and sisters and
Yep.
we'll go
Witches
with
of
that.
Eastwick, just for you.
I really wish you could take pain meds.
I wish I could too.
I really wish I had.
But do you
some.
want to know what happened when I took these White Crosses?
What?
So I took these White Crosses. It was the second night that Led Zeppelin was in town. And the first night they were in Minneapolis. Second night they were in St. Paul. And so I had maybe like 40 White Crosses. And I thought, maybe if I snort them, it would, they'd be better.
Uh-huh.
And so, I crushed them and I snorted them all. And all I remember was being at the concert with my friend Wanda and Robert Plant saying, "St. Paul, you're much too much." And then it was like, I fell fast asleep. I remember
Wow.
nothing else about the concert. What the hell was that? Yeah. Strange.
It's kind of like you got to the end of the internet.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
How can that
Like
make you
everything
fall
sped up
asleep?
I have no
everything sped
idea.
up so much that all of a sudden it just reversed on
yes.
you.
Yes.
Your
Very
body did a
freaky.
reverse
Very,
whammy.
and that's when I quit taking White Crosses. I thought, screw this.
What conclusion have we come to?
The conclusion we've come to is that this is going to get worse. And it's going to get worse. And what's interesting, once again, we've got this thing with sex. And with the sexes, rather. Women learn how to control it. Women learn how to control anger. Women learn how to control all kinds of things. Men are addicts. Do you see what I'm saying with this? Mm-hmm. So even though the stats are going to say more men are doing it, it's not true. It's not true. That's the bottom line.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good talk, you guys. When we come back, we're going to talk about what heals you. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Hey, everybody. It's Colleen from the Neighbor Ladies. I want to tell you about another show we've got going on, the Great Northern Sex Cast. Longtime radio personality and producer Kelly Guest and pal. She's the CEO of Fantasy Gifts, Colleen Bertino. She's a close personal friend of mine. They bring you the Great Northern Sex Cast. Have you heard this show yet? It talks about all things sex. So you grab your headphones and learn everything you've always wanted to know about sex and intimacy, but we're afraid to ask. And Colleen is really the expert. She was here. She was here doing this. It's a family business, the whole Fantasy Gifts thing. So she knows what she's talking about, and it's a fun show. So to hear the latest episode or catch up on what you've missed, don't forget, visit aliveandsocial.com. Great Northern Sex Cast.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, what is the sleaziest excuse you have ever used to get pain meds? We know you don't use pain meds, so you can substitute
But
that
I
in for-
have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jury duty.
Jury duty.
Yeah.
That painful, huh?
Yeah. Honest to God.
Karen J?
Well, the Mexican got a whole bottle of Vicodin from his aunt who was a cancer patient. And I was really worried that he was going to take them, so I wanted to get them from him so I could sell them to a comic. I know. And then I had to lick his anus, among other things.
What? Oh
Yeah.
my God!
But she
we're
likes
back with
that.
again. I know she likes that.
Colleen?
What's the sleaziest excuse I've ever used to get pain meds? I've never had to use a sleazy excuse because I burned my hand, and so I didn't have to use an excuse. But I tell you, I bought some. I went to Mexico. I was on vacation, and they just sell them there right at the Walgreens. So there you go, you sons of
What
bitches.
do they sell?
I had a whole bottle of. I got Vicodin for my Brazilian
Seriously?
waxes, and I had Vicodin for 2 years, every 8
God.
weeks. I just got like 15 of them.
Where did
That
you
was
go-
like some pain-free coochie maintenance.
At
Let
like-
me tell you,
At like Walgreens.
it was whatever the Mexican Walgreens is.
Right.
Where's that?
Cabo San Lucas.
Oh.
Right. So I was
Wow.
on vacation, and my girlfriend said, "Hey, we should go to Walgreens. You can get Vicodin there." And I was like, "Shut up!" So I did. It was awesome. But I don't have any anymore. Very sad. Welcome back. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Check us out on the Alive and Social Network or the aliveandsocial.com. We're here with Suzanne, Karen J, Handyman Grant. Boston's on vacation. We only have a couple minutes left here, but we've talked about the Black Lives Matter protest coming up here this Saturday at the State Fair, and the new intel on pain meds and women. And here's what I wanted to talk about with you guys really quick. What heals you, right?
Yeah.
What fortifies you? If it's not a chemical, if it's not a practice, what heals you? What can you do to take care of yourself when things are bad?
Well, I masturbate.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. That actually, you know what? They say that when you have a migraine coming on, because
No,
I
I
get
know.
migraines about once a month, and they say, go rub one out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll help stave it off.
I usually do it 2 to 3 times a day.
Good to know.
Folding my clit like it's origami.
Good to-
Up, down,
good-
left,
good to
right.
know.
You know.
I think I missed that last part, but that's all right. I'll hear it in the playback. I think it's awesome. Somebody said the word clit. Oh, it was Karen J. That's a surprise.
Hey, we probably have some listeners that don't even know what their clit is.
That's very sad. They do. They've just put it out to pasture. All right. What heals you?
I think working in dirt. I like
Oh, gardening.
gardening.
That is
You
soothing.
have a garden.
I do
Karen
have a
J.
garden. I gave everyone here
Tomatoes.
from my garden. Yep.
Yes.
And I like to cook.
Yeah.
I like to cook too.
I like to cook. I like to bake, and I like to specifically try recipes that I haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's something about the novelty of it. I'm working with familiar ingredients. I'm working with butter and eggs and sugar and flour.
Yeah.
But I'm doing something a little bit different
Right.
with it.
Right.
And I don't know what the outcome will be, but at the same time, it's a very it's an easy risk to take, because what's the worst case scenario? It's either going to look bad and it's still going to taste good, or it's going to taste bad and I don't know.
Takeout.
Right, and it
Right.
just take
Yeah.
out. So I
Right.
really like to do that. And I was thinking about that because my daughter, she's 27 years old. She's in a very stressful job, and I was on the phone with her on Saturday night for 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Right. And now she lives in another city, and so we tend to have these epic phone conversations because she lives in another city. But I couldn't help but I was absorbing some of the stress.
Yeah.
Not all of it. I can't.
Right.
But I was just like, I was thinking, God, what? She's your kid. You want to take
Right.
care of her.
I know. I hate that too.
What? Because your daughter's away
She's in
too.
Chicago,
She's away at
yeah.
school, right?
Yeah.
And your kids are gone too.
Yeah. Although
And-
my boy just got back from Afghanistan. Yay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we need to start talking about what we do that renews our zest for living and our excitement for living. And I was thinking that what are the qualities of something that does that for you? Is it-
Meditation
right? Something that
or working
where
out.
you can
Music.
be incredibly present. Masturbation, your first
Yeah.
go-to.
Right.
You have to be very present for that. There's
Yep.
no.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, you can let your mind wander for sure, but you're
Yeah.
you're present in the moment for that.
Yeah.
And gardening is.
Reading.
Uh-huh.
Reading is another one.
Yeah.
Or just curling up and throwing the covers over my head.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have a friend that's dealing with some sad stuff right now. Mm-hmm. She's literally been in bed since April.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happens,
Right.
and then
God,
you get
I've been there.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It sucks.
It does
Yeah.
suck.
It
It
does
does
suck.
suck.
No, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, I don't know about. Well,
how did you
maybe-
get out? How did you get out of bed after you were in bed for that long?
I don't know. I guess I just got tired of it. I don't know. You just kind of something happens to just jolt you out of it. Like you just decide to stop feeling sorry for yourself, or you're like, well, shit, I'm not dead. I guess I better get up and do something. Or you start to smell bad, and you're like, well,
Right.
yeah.
I think when you try to find a practice that's healing for you, I think
Yeah.
you need to find something that contains a little bit of novelty, because that also leads you to think life might be worth living.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to take yourself out of the rut of the same things that you do every single day, because then it sparks new neural connections and probably even new ways of thinking.
I mean, I guess my Cubs probably are the things that always drag me back out because they need money or whatever.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I gotta go.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Well, I'm glad you got out of bed.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been like that for a while.
No.
But I've been there for sure. It sucks.
Talk more of that later. Good talk, you guys.
Yeah.
All right. See you next episode.
Okay.